Hi, I'm Katie of Dandelion Doily. I make all things tiny and delightful, but especially tiny embroidered jewelry. I've been running my small business for over 5 years now. While some things have changed, the core values of why I run my business and what I want to support with my business have not. The tiny embroidered jewelry that I make is all handmade with a combination of new and repurposed materials. I feel very passionate about repurposing things and giving things second life, new life. The fabric that I use is sourced from the local thrift store, either from button-up shirts or things with a stain on them, pillowcases. Had it not been purchased, that item would have gone to the landfill. And I also try to make my packaging as cute, but also as eco-friendly as possible. That's something that I care deeply about, and I'd love to share more with you about packaging. In this video, I will share with you how I choose to package my products and options that might help you find the perfect packaging solution for yours. Packaging is often the first physical impression that a customer gets of your brand. Think about how you want your customers to feel. Imagine receiving a package, knowing that it's coming to you today. You open your mailbox. It's a craft mailer with a stamp of somebody's logo from a small business. Ooh, a sleek branded box that opens like this and it's got cute stuff inside. I like a shiny, cute, metallic bubble mailer. Amazon bubble mailer with Amazon all over it. Heartless. Each of these packages gets a response from us. Whether you're opening it up with delight or opening up with not even a thought, or opening up and be like my first mailers maybe. There's so many options there, but finally figuring out the perfect solution for your packaging needs is so satisfying. And it really adds to the joy of having a small business. But it can definitely be a little confusing and overwhelming before that. So I want to help you figure it out. Firstly, you need to think about functionality. What are you sending in the mail? Is it breakable, heavy, large? Do people usually order lots of them at the same time? You might need a box. Is your item delicate and lightweight, but not super breakable? You might consider a padded mailer or a bubble mailer. Is your item soft and flexible and it will be fine if it's jostled here and there in the mail? A poly mailer or any of the above would be fine for you. Do you have a little bit of this and that, and the combination could be anything when somebody orders? Then you might consider a mixed option of multiple of these ways of packaging things. You'll also need to consider the cost, especially if you are just starting out and you're a small business. The cost is important. You don't want things eating into your profit. It can be very tempting to go all out on packaging. It might be really cute, might feel good, might be worth it in some other way. But my advice is when you're starting out to not go all out. Make it as cute as you can, but let your product speak for itself and shine through more than your packaging. A few general things about cost is that mailers are typically cheaper and lighter than boxes. That's something to keep in mind. And also when you buy in bulk, the price will be lower. However, you need to factor something else in with that. Buying in bulk reduces the cost a lot of times, but when you buy in bulk, you also need to consider the space. I am running my business from a small apartment. Space is valuable to me. While I might be able to save a lot of money by ordering 6 boxes like this big of mailers, the space is more valuable to me. So what I do is I just buy one big box, work through that, and then buy it again. I can't afford to have all of my closet space or my living room full of cardboard boxes full of mailers. So some of the more space-saving options would be like poly mailers and flat mailers, then bubble mailers and padded mailers, and then boxes will take up the most space. So that's something to be mindful of as well. Then there's also the environmental impact. Any business leaves a footprint on the earth. Even the most well-intentioned, eco-friendly, good business leaves a footprint. So I really want to work to minimize mine and be as earth-friendly, eco-friendly, thoughtful as I can. Some things that are good to look out for is it biodegradable? Will it just go back into the earth? Is it compostable where you can put it into a compost bin and it will go back into the earth safely? Is it recyclable? Can you put it into the recycling and it be used again for some other means? And is it reusable, like a cloth bag or a tote or something like that? Back in the day when my shop was first starting out, shipping was kind of expensive, and so I tried to cut costs, but also I tried to be as eco-friendly as I could by actually making my own mailers. I started getting more orders, and so it became very inefficient to make my own mailers. So what I choose to do now is to purchase shipping items from Eco Enclose. I really like that brand because they are very transparent, and I really believe that they have good intentions and are doing their best to minimize their own footprint and other makers' footprints on the ecosystem. The majority of my items are small, not super breakable, and so they fit into that category of mailers. I preferred to stay away from bubble mailers because they are lots of times made of just pure plastic and it's not good for the earth. And so I went with their padded mailer option, which is just a 100% made with recycled material paper option. It's also easy to recycle. You can just throw this in any paper recycling. It's sturdy, kind of thick, protective, and you can also brand it yourself with a simple stamp and ink. It also clearly says that it's recyclable, and I like that it's made out of brown paper because a lot of the packaging, the internal packaging that I do, is either like a craft box or like a brown, what do you call those? Like a small brown envelope type of deal. And so it kind of matches with my whole packaging scheme and makes things feel cohesive and cute. That's cute. You can get Eco Enclosed to print your brand onto your mailers, which would be really nice. It kind of does hurt my hand to just stamp like 250 of these at one time, but you have to have an order minimum. And like I said, I value my space, so I'm gonna be stamping for a while. When my business started to grow, I noticed that people were buying multiple of my things, which hadn't been happening as much. Plus, I have made embroidery kits, which are bigger than just the necklaces that I sell. And so I needed to find a solution that would work for multiple things. If somebody ordered multiple kits or a kit and a necklace, that sort of thing. And so I went with one of Eco Enclose's bubble mailers, which is not my favorite. They're very transparent though, and they say that it's made with 50% recycled content, 10% post-consumer waste, so that's 60% of trash that it's made out of. But then the 40% is just other materials. And they say themselves that that's not ideal. However, there are certain circumstances where you do just kind of have to use plastic. But I also feel a little bit better about the bubble mailers because it has 2 sticky tabs. And so when I send this out, I'll use one of the sticky tabs, it'll go to the recipient. And then if the recipient notices, they'll be able to use this again for a second time, giving it extra life, meaning that they don't have to go out and purchase a brand new bubble mailer made with fossil fuels and it's bad for the earth. You get it. I also don't love it because I can't stamp on it, and it's like white and it's got like lime green, which is not my like vibe or my brand's vibe, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's better than some of the alternatives. They also have a lot of different sizes, and I just think this one is so cute. Like there was a time when I considered moving from this padded mailer to this itty bitty adorable bubble mailer because it was just so itty bitty and adorable. And it like, my stuff would fit perfectly in it. It would be so lightweight. I would save money. It's so cute. But also like, who's gonna save this and use it again? Like how often are people sending itty bitty things like this? And I mean, it's not as good for the earth as this, you know? So you gotta be thoughtful, you gotta think, and do things that are good for you and your business and hopefully the earth. So a few different packaging vendors that I have tried or used or looked into is of course Eco Enclose. They have lots of options, boxes, mailers. I said that they're super transparent and I really believe that they're doing their best. I highly recommend them. I'll even try to put a link down below that you can use to get a certain amount off. I think I have one of those, but I'll share it with you if you would like to try it as well. I will say that on Eco Enclose, go ahead and put in your cart what you're interested in, and then look at the shipping, because the shipping's gonna be like $30 or more. It hurts, and they don't offer free shipping, and I get it, but just be mindful of that. You kind of have to factor that into the cost of whatever you're buying. Another business that I've looked into is Mart. They offer a lot of different options, some that are eco-friendly, some that are not. But in terms of their eco-friendly items, I did try a like bubble mailer that they had. It had like foam on the inside that was like biodegradable or something. It was very lightweight, which I was interested in because the eco-enclosed padded mailer is kind of heavy, which that is costly in terms of shipping. Every little ounce kind of counts. So I was looking for maybe a lighter weight option, but since it was lighter weight, it seemed to be less protective. And that mailer, it had really sharp edges. I was just like terrified that somebody would receive a package from me and get a paper cut. I feel like I almost got a paper cut from a lot of them. Luckily, I only bought 25 of them to test them out, and I decided to just stay with eco-enclosed. There's also a really popular brand called Impact, I-M-P-A-C-K. And they offer really cute like poly mailers and bubble mailers. I see a lot of small businesses use them. I think they're really cute and nice, and you can use them twice. That's why I've been saving this one. I got something like from the mail, and I've just been saving it for another item sometime to send to a friend. So you could check them out. I personally am a little skeptical. They say their items are biodegradable and compostable. I mean, it really could be good and fine. It's like internal suspicion. They could be great. It's just my own thing. And I just really like the plain brown of my paper one. Paper, like you've seen paper out as litter, it's gonna turn back into earth eventually. This plastic stuff, can you be certain? I don't know. If you are a very small business or just starting out, I don't know that I would recommend buying like from any of those places, just because I think they're kind of expensive and a little bit like you have to order more in bulk. I would recommend like the dollar store. Just go to the dollar store and get some mailers. It might just be a bubble mailer, but honestly, if you need to just like test your business and make sure it's something that you want to commit to, that's an okay place to start. Otherwise, you can just try a few small batches of things from online. Be mindful of like shipping cost and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of fun to figure out like how you want to communicate your business through packaging and through shipping. So have fun with it and explore. When I was first starting out, I would buy manila envelopes from the dollar store and glue like old bubble mailers from my work, like from Amazon or whatever, to the inside to create my own bubble mailer. And give that bubble mailer like second life before it goes to the landfill forever and ever and ever. So I think back to that and I had good intentions, but I also think about like when somebody opened their mailbox and got a manila envelope with like a bunch of like trash glued to the inside with like their cute embroidered necklace, like what was their response? While that idea, looking back, might have been a little like trashy and cringe, the heart was there and the intention, and that intention has flourished and become something that I still include in my business today. Also on the outside, I didn't have a stamp yet, but I still wanted to like make it cute and personable, so I would just draw a little dandelion on the outside, which was cute. And that's also something that you can do when you're starting out to make it just more special. You can draw something or write a little note on the outside. You can invest in a stamp. I have 2 stamps. I have a smaller stamp from Love Stamps XOXO. Lovely Stamp XOXO? Oh gosh, I can't. Stamped with Love XOXO. And one from Sayabell that's a big like 3-incher. They both offer both of these options though, so you can take a look. But these are so easy and fun to just add some branding to simple packaging. So consider a stamp. And I use a lot of like brown packaging in my packaging. I put a little stamp on this and I put like my necklaces in it. I put a little string on it, stick it inside a little bag, put a sticker on it. I also use glassine a lot. If you don't know what glassine is, it's kind of a plastic alternative, but it's made out of paper that's been like ironed a certain way so that it's kind of transparent. It's really cool, but it is eco-friendly. And so that could be a good option if you're used to using like cellophane bags. Cellophane bags are terrible for the earth, but it's okay if that's what you gotta use. You gotta do what you gotta do, no shame. But this is an example of like glassine, white glassine, and I don't actually know if this is glassine, but it's paper. And it's brown and I like it. It's so fun to like figure out your packaging, and then you just think about people opening it, and that experience and their joy just feeds into your joy. So I really hope that you will get that feeling once you find the right stride for your packaging. Sometimes plastic is necessary, but give eco-friendly options a thought, no harm. And even small changes help. You can package your items cutely and consciously. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the links below if you are interested in any of the businesses that I brought up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Sincerely, Katie of Dandelion Doily.